What's up, everybody? This is the Titans Fans Podcast. Uh, Still early in the shows, but I wanted to bring on some guests. I appreciate you guys showing up. I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourselves. Go ahead and start with you, RJ.
What's going on, man? It's RJ Elser from the Titans Coliseum podcast, man. Always a pleasure to hop on here with Max, man. And, we're going to talk some Titan football today, man.
Thank you. And Morocco.
Yes, man, how y'all doing out there today, man? You already know who this is, man. Happy to be here, Max, man. Thank you for having us on.
Oh no, it's a pleasure's all mine, y'all. The pleasure's all mine.
Yeah.
So,
We're actually one short today, man. We got one of our boys out there in Miami living the good life, man. You know what I'm saying? So, man, he couldn't join us today. So,
oh yeah. Firestone.
mhm.
Yeah. Shout out to Firestone, everybody. Um, all right, so the main topic today obviously is going to be OTAs. It's what everybody's excited about. It's what everybody wants to hear about. So,
Mhm.
uh, do y'all have a take on it real quick before I start my spill?
Yeah, I just want people to understand it's just voluntary OTA, so everybody doesn't have to show up to this. So the people that's freaking out on Twitter is talking about some, where's this person at? Where's that person at? Is it voluntary OTAs? Like they don't have to be here; they can do their own thing. So
All right.
Yeah, man. Don't freak out, people. I mean, shoot. We missing who at practice today? Kevin Bauer, which is understandable. I mean, him and the Titans at a crossroads right now, but they gonna get it all worked out. Mike Vrabel, he had some good things to say about KB. He was actually with KB at the golf course on Sunday. Said they had a lot of fun together. So I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about KB. Who I would worry about though is Christian Fulton because he's not out there. And from what I saw, I mean, he's still, trying to shake back from injury, man. And like I mentioned before in the past, man, I mean, if this dude can't stay healthy, man, we're going to have to move on. We're going to have to find us two corners to go on the outside, man, because I don't want to see Roger McQuarrie or Elijah Molden trying to play safety. I mean, trying to play cornerback on the outside, man. Those are not outside dudes, man. I mean, we need big, long, physical guys to play at that position. And Fulton, I mean, he fits that mold. And if he's not out there, man, I mean, opposing wide receivers gonna take advantage of us.
yeah, my thing is on Christian McQuarrie. I mean Christian McQuarrie, Christian Fulton. Excuse me. Is man, you gotta be out there, man. Like, dude, like you already on friends to even get a contract with the Tennessee Titans, dude. And I just not a good look, man. I do agree this is voluntary. You don't have to be out there, but I'm sorry, man. You need to be out there, dude. Like you, especially when it's your contract year, man. You better come out here and have a big season, or it isn't gonna look good.
Yep. Yep. 100% agree. Yeah. And speaking of Molden, they were talking about him working at safety. Uh, some
Yeah, I think
and
that's his primary. Well, I ain't gonna say primary, but that should be his position. So
Well, I like him in the slot on early downs, like first and second down. If they have
mhm.
that third, or guarding a tight end maybe. But yeah, I agree. He's more like a safety than he is a cornerback. He's a really good defensive back, but I like him as a safety more than a corner.
Yeah, I like his versatility, man. I like that he can play in the slot. He can play safety. He can play. Well, I don't know if he can too much play outside corner. He get a little slow, but he can blitz. You know what I'm saying? He can play in the box. It's a. I like his versatility, man, and I feel like with him, like we was definitely missing him last year in the secondary. We definitely could have used him last year when he was hurt. But just like I said, man, he gotta stay healthy, dude. Just like everybody else, man. Like everybody needs just to just stay healthy. It's too many injuries last year for us to really just be excited about a football team.
I agree, man. If they don't do something about the injuries that we've had the last two seasons, if they plague us this year, then there's got to be, I mean, there has to be some kind of answer. I mean, obviously they're doing everything they can. You know, I think that's why they changed the grass to turf. I honestly do. I think they're doing absolutely everything they possibly can to try to stop this injury plague that we've had the last 2 seasons. So let's see. Let's let's talk about Derrick Henry for a minute. He showed up early. It's the first year. What y'all's take on that? Why do you think he showed up so early?
Man, he want to win, man. I mean, he doing whatever it takes to win, and it's all about starting early, man, and being up out there with your guys and developing that chemistry. I mean, they don't start developing chemistry in August or late July or whatever. I mean, it starts. Honest to God, truth, it's a year-round thing. I mean, it's hanging out with your peers from that play the same position as you. I mean, hanging out with the other teammates. I mean, all of that goes into developing chemistry. And the earlier you start doing that, I mean, the better things will go. So, I mean, Derrick Henry being up out there with the guys, I mean, it only shows how much he wants to win.
Yeah, my take on Derrick Henry is, man, he's the same King Henry that we know, man. He's dedicated. He puts in the work, man, on the off season. As soon as the season ended, man, Derrick Henry was already in the workout gym, trying to get back for next season, man. And this is the main. He's showing you the main reason why I want him to get an extension and retire as a Tennessee Titan, man. I don't want to see him on another team because I know he go to another team, we're gonna all regret it as soon as we let him go, man. And this better not be his last season. We better be extending him because Derrick Henry's gonna come out here. He's gonna run for over 1,500 plus yards, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, well, do we get rid of?" He's gonna make it hard for us to get rid of him, man. No, we need to keep Derrick Henry, and we need to to me, let him retire Tennessee Titan. We rarely see running backs retire with their franchise. Now I want Derrick Henry to be one of the few to do that. I don't want to see him on another team.
I agree, RJ. I would, if I had my way, I would keep Derrick Henry until he was ready to retire. Speaking of Derrick Henry, though, did y'all hear about him mentoring Spears?
No, I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, he was actually caught in a video. There was one I saw on Twitter, I believe, that where he was actually showing him a little bit of how to juke and how to hit the hole or whatever. It was really nice to see the veteran player showing the rookie, hey, this is how you do it. This is what you need to be looking for.
So was Tannehill doing any mentoring out there?
That's kind of where I was going with that, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but
everybody's favorite
mentor. Yeah.
I got tired of the mentor questions, man. That mentoring stuff was so annoying. Like, but I mean, I did see the video. I seen the video of him, Tannehill, Malik was out there throwing passes and stuff. So I mean, he's clearly out there showing him stuff, man. He's sizing up Will Levis to see if he can beat him out this season. So let me beat him out in this off season. So we'll see. I will say though, Malik Willis got saved, man. Apparently the NFL got a new rule, man, that keeps us with an emergency quarterback, so we can have 3 quarterbacks and not lose a roster spot. So.
Yep, that is a very good point, RJ. And I actually posted something up on Twitter about that. Yeah, that's very, very good point. And yes, I do believe that pretty much cemented him a roster spot. Or, well, it doesn't actually count as a roster spot. That's why it allows us to be able to do that. I think that exactly. Yeah, he stays on the team because of that new rule. Although I don't like, since you're talking about new rules, I have to bring up the fact that I absolutely, and I've been burned on the social media about this. A lot of people have been up at me about this, but I absolutely hate the new kickoff rule. Have you heard about this?
So does this kickoff rule, does it apply to punt too, or is it just the kickoffs?
No, it's just the kickoffs.
Okay.
So they're just taking away the kickoff return. But that's exactly what they're doing. Anywhere you fair catch.
They're adding a college football rule, right?
Basically, yeah, you can fair catch it at the 1 yard line. You can fair catch it anywhere you want, inside the end zone, outside the end zone, and it goes to the 25 automatically. If you call for a fair catch at the last second and catch the ball, it's a 25-yard line.
That's crazy, man. Why don't they?
That's how it is in college football. Yeah.
I mean, the XFL is making the return of the return game. That. And here the NFL is saying, we're going to strip it. And to me, personally, I love the return game. That's one of the most exciting parts of it because at any moment that can change a game. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can literally shift the game real quick. Devin Hester is a good point. Like people like that aren't going to exist anymore. Excitement like that won't exist anymore if they take away the return game. Mm. And I understand the injury part of it. But at the same time, is it injury versus excitement? You know what I'm saying? And like, the spear rule, I guess, is a good, opposite of that. Because obviously that was causing too much injury or the defenseless receiver. I love seeing a defenseless receiver getting hit. Don't get me wrong. That shit's awesome. But, it's unfair to the guy catching the ball because he's going to get hurt. And a lot of times the guy who's hitting the guy gets hurt. So, I mean, it is smart to take that out of the football game. But is it smart to take away the return game?
No, I don't think so, man. I mean, shoot.
Kickoff returns.
I mean, we grew up loving it, just like you said, man. I mean, it ain't nothing like seeing all them dudes just shoot downfield, shoot upfield, everybody trying to make a play.
I'm not. Look, I don't really too much care about it. I mean, I like I said, I did fall in love with the kick returners, like the Mark Mariani's, Devin Hester's, all them. You know what I'm saying? But come on, man, like that don't decide the football game. It don't decide a football game. Like I mean, it can, but come on, man. Punt returns are a little bit more important to me than kick returns. Like, we can be.
It don't decide the game. I mean, I understand where you coming from nowadays because of all the rules that they done changed. I mean, it does have less of an impact on the game because, I mean, like y'all saying now, I mean, anywhere you fair catch it, I mean, you go up to the 25-yard line. I mean, back in the day or whatever, I mean, shoot, I mean, you catch it. I mean, you go and I mean, you get your yards, and wherever you end up at is where you end up at, man. I mean, it was a whole nother different ball game as it is today. Everything is moving towards, the safety of the players, which I can respect, but I mean, don't take away from the game like that, though.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think we can make the game safer. Like I said, with the taking out the defenseless receiver and the spearing and the stuff like that, lowering the helmet, hitting with the crown, stuff like that, you can take out without losing the excitement of the game. But if you fair catch it on the 25, I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, I think it takes away from the game. I think it takes a position away from a team. Like there are these guys that wouldn't have been, I mean, like, let's be honest. Pac-Man Jones, he wasn't a great cornerback in his first couple of years. He developed into a great cornerback, or a good cornerback, I'll say. But he wasn't a great cornerback. He was a great return man. Mm-hmm. And that's what kept him on our team, was the fact that he, at any moment, he could bust one off and take it to the house. And that was on kickoffs or punts. And that's what I'm talking. Or Devin Hester, another, I bring him back up because he would not be on an NFL team, or if he was, he'd be on a practice squad or something like that, had it not been for his return ability.
Right. It was him and the Bears defense, man. When the Bears went to the Super Bowl, man, I mean, the Bears offense back then, I mean, it was decent at best or whatever. But I mean, what opponents feared back then was the Bears defense and Devin Hester, because I mean, didn't he set a record for kickoff returns that year too?
Yes, he did.
And
Yes,
he
he did.
returned one in the Super Bowl as
Mhm.
well, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, you got people
Well-
like Cordero Patterson in today's day of football, man, that's returning kicks at the level. I ain't gonna say he's as good as Devin Hester, but he has Devin Hester numbers, and it's like, it takes away from him too. So, but I mean, like I said, I'm not mad about taking away kick returns. Like, I still think that the impact that it has on the game, unless you just have a elite kick returner, it really doesn't. Like a Jamal Agnew or Cordero Patterson to me, I just feel like it doesn't impact the game as much, as it should, as a punt return would. I feel like a punt return has more impact on a football game because it's easier to turn a punt return I see more big punt returns than I do kick returns, in my opinion. So
They messed it up when they moved. I'm trying to see how I need to say this. They messed it up when they moved the kickoff forward or whatever.
mm-hmm.
I mean, giving them, more of a chance where the returner catch the ball in the end zone and have to wave fair catch or whatever. I mean, had they left that alone, man, I mean, I think, it would have been much better for the game. But I mean, safety, I understand it too.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to bring that up because it was a big point to me, and it was one of the things that drew me to the game of football, because that was one of the things I was actually good at in football was returning. So you know,
You had that good 4-2 speed.
yeah, it's a little personal, so whatever.
Yeah, I feel you.
Also, since we were talking about returning, well, I guess that doesn't really segue good into it. Anyway, I want to talk about Spears. I want to talk about Tajay Spears because he has been amazing so far in rookie mini camp, and today apparently he shined again with the catch of the day on a spinning catch that I wish somebody had caught on film, but I haven't seen yet any film of it. I've been searching like crazy trying to find it, but I have not found any film of it. But everybody is gushing about this kid.
Nah, don't gush about him now.
No,
keep that same energy. Don't gush about him now. No,
I'm excited, man. I don't care whether the dude has an ACL or not. I never really did, but I really don't now.
This ain't even coming for you, Maze. I'm talking about these Titan fans that was on Twitter crying when we drafted him. I said, I remember we was watching it and I was looking. I said, "Oh, let's go get a receiver." And Tajay Spears' name came up. I was just as mad as everybody else. Well, I'm like, "What in the world?" Then they cut that man film on. I said, "This dude is a beast." I was like, "Who is this dude?" I'm like, so "This dude is a beast." I'm like, "What are y'all talking about?" I was like, "You guys looking at the film? Like, oh, we need a receiver. This running back ain't got no ACL." I'm like, you don't even sign running backs to second contracts like that. Unless it's Derrick Henry. Like, what are you talking about? 4 years of a good backup running back. Watch.
Well, people talk about, I think Tajay Spears is going to be better than Dante Hilliard, and I'm like, dude, Dante Hilliard ain't even on an NFL team right now, bro.
Yeah, that's not.
And Tajay Spears is lighting up the practice field like national people are talking about Tajay Spears lighting up the practice field.
Yeah, so everybody got on him for drafting him, and I do my own research like you supposed to do, man. And I watched the games that he went off. He went off in big games when Tulane needed to win beat a very good football team. He stepped up every single time. Like, it was him.
And that was after the injury.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the first thing I did was when somebody mentioned that ACL injury, which was on draft when we drafted him, almost immediately somebody said something about him not having an ACL. I freaked out, pulled out my phone, started doing some research, found out it happened in 2020, and 2021 at the end of 2021 season, he said he felt great. He said he felt like he was running at his normal speed again. So. And then you watch film of 2022, and he, like you said, RJ, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, I mean, he got a violent. I'm talking about a violent cut. I'm talking about this dude right here. I mean, and it happens so daggone fast, man.
exactly.
I mean, he can definitely, open up this offense this year. I mean, just imagine we get some good run blocking, and then we get Derrick Henry going. We can give Derrick Henry some rest. We won't have to, rely on him to do so much. Bring in a Tajay Spears or whatever that can, bring a change of pace, and also too, you can use him in the pass game as well.
Oh,
You
what
know
I
who
love.
Tajay Spears reminds me of? He reminds me of Tony Pollard. That's literally who to me he play like. You know what I'm saying? Like that man, he fast. You know what I'm saying? He got good cuts. He can get through little holes. He can get yards after contact. Like he dragging people, man. Like that dude is a beast. He
Yeah,
catching
he's a
out the backfield.
one-cut downhill runner. Yeah, he's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had a problem with him. My problem was with the whole wide receiver
The
thing. I mean,
lack.
I got caught in the trap, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and admit it. I got caught in the trap. I was sitting up there thinking, okay, they done drafted Peter Skoronski, they done drafted Will Levis. Let's see who they finna get at receiver or pass catcher, because Darnell Washington, he was sitting right there too. And I was like, man, I love to have that big motherfucker right here in Tennessee. And then when they said Tajay Spears, I mean, it was like these motherfuckers.
Yeah, they did. Hey, I did the same. Like I said, I did the same shit y'all did, and I looked at it like this, man. Yeah, I went. You gotta do your research, man. You gotta once you gotta get a prospect, man. You go look up why your franchise drafted them. You know what I'm saying? And what was one of the biggest problems that we had last year was when Derrick Henry lead the field. Get off the field, man. No one's scared of our offense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their defense go to pass defense. They ain't even worried about us running the ball, and they ain't gonna be able to do that next year. You know what I'm saying? When he leave, they flame Douglas in there. Now, whenever he leave, man, you know what I'm saying? It's Clay Douglas a fool, man. We back. Like I said, like dude said on here, he said, thunder and lightning, man. That's exactly what we building, man. We need a backup a backup that perfectly complements Henry, and I think we got that with Tajay Spears, man. So.
I agree, and I think that I love telling people this. We didn't draft any wide receivers, but we did draft a lot of pass catchers. Imagine this for a minute. Okay. 2 tight end set, split back. You got Derrick Henry on one side, Tajay Spears on the other. You got Chig on one tight end spot. You got Wiley on the other tight end spot. You got Burks at wide out. I mean, that's kind of dangerous right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about that for a second. That could be pretty dangerous right there. And you could take that one formation and do a lot of different things with it. I don't know. I love format. I love scheme in football. And if I was Tim Kelly right now, I'd be foaming at the mouth because I've got a lot of quirky dudes that have, are gadgety kind of guys that you can plug in and put in places that are highly athletic. That's the thing that I was talking about earlier was the RAS score of everybody that we drafted. And if you look, that's what Rand Carthon's going after. And I think that's what we're moving towards. And when you got athletic guys like that, you can ask them to do crazy things. And it works. And when you get mismatches like Wiley, who's, I think he's like 6'4".
Nah, he's 6'6".
I was gonna say he's huge, man, and he's got a giant wingspan.
He's a big red zone target now.
I definitely Wiley, man. That dude got some wiggle to him, man, for somebody his size. And I feel like he's underused at Cincinnati, man. Like they wasn't using him like they should have been using.
And he's fast, man. Could you imagine him splitting across the field or something like that with Chig pulling like a cross route or a pull route? I mean, it could be insane. Or you could have the fake handoff. I mean, I don't know. I'm getting way off tangent. Sorry.
Yeah, you're getting crazy.
I'm sorry.
I've been trying to tell people, I was like, man, the Titans run a 2 tight end set, man. So what is it? 22 personnel. So that's, I mean, like I said, 2 wide receiver, 2 tight end set, man. And people got to understand, like, man, like we're gonna have draft players for that scheme. I don't know who the number. I guess they believe in Nick Westbrook, Akina, Chris Moore, or whatever. So we're gonna see how it's gonna look, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get to them in a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Let me roll off some quick hits here from the OTAs real quick because I'm getting all tangenty as crap here. Let's see. Simmons says his ankle feels great. I'm happy to hear that. He looked like it felt great coming off the line in that video when he smacked the bag. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but it was nice. Tannehill looked real sharp. First 8 passes completed. I saw that online somewhere. Apparently had one really terrible throw on the last throw of practice to Racey McMath, which was dropped. Burks apparently looked good, fit and fast. Had 3 catches. Arden Key showed some burst. Would have had a sack on Tannehill if they wouldn't have blew the whistle. Caleb Murphy showed a bunch of power. Would have had a sack against Malik Willis had they not blown the whistle. Levis, unfortunately, mishandled the snap again on the very first snap of his practice. So that's something we're going to have to kind of watch out for but he did have a different center. So I'll give him that, but he didn't fumble this snap. He snatched it up and took off running. And they even said he looked like he ran real strong, even though he did mishandle the snap. So I'll give him that. Man, when you watch, there's a video out there with the 3 quarterbacks, Tannehill, Malik Willis, and Levis, all throwing, all of them back to back. And if you watch the video, you'll understand why everyone's so excited about Will Levis and his arm. Because he can throw faster and harder with less effort than Tannehill can. And he makes Willis, I'm sorry. I love Malik Willis. I was a huge Malik Willis fan, but you compare him to Levis and he's just not there. Speaking of Willis, he did look good, but his body language in the interviews and when I'm watching him in practice looks like a guy who has lost his fire. He looks like a guy who has kind of figured out that he's going to be the 3rd round quarterback, and that just sucks for him, and he's already just accepted it, and that's crazy to me. But thoughts?
Man, some guys, man, just speaking on Malik's situation, man. I mean, when stuff like that happens, I mean, you either going to accept it like it sounds like Malik Willis is, or you gonna say, fuck that. You gonna have to beat me the fuck out for this job. And it's unfortunate that Malik is just accepting it, just going by what you said or whatever, because I mean, sure enough, they drafted Will Levis in the 2nd round, moved up to get him or whatever, and they're going to do whatever they need to do to get him prepared for life after Tannehill. But Malik just can't go down and concede like that, because guess what? If they end up getting Levis to that point where they start him, they're probably going to move on from Malik. And other teams are going to be watching, looking at how he handled that situation. And they're going to look at him and say, hey, man, they drafted this dude, and this dude just sat up there and took it. I mean, he just accepted it for what it was or whatever without even fighting back. And that would make them not want to even deal with that right there, because don't nobody want no uncompetitive ass quarterback. I don't give a damn if you the 6th quarterback on the roster or whatever, man. Yeah. I mean, as a person, you should always feel like you're better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, seeing him roll over like that. I mean, to be honest, that was a player I was one of the most excited to see in practice was Malik. and to see how he kind of, looked versus the other quarterbacks. And I was impressed with his footwork, and I mean, everything looked good. You know what I mean, as far as his playing. But I mean, just when you hear him talk in the interviews and when you see his body language at practice, I mean, y'all can go check the videos out on Twitter. I mean, it shocked me. But Corey D's right. All he's got to do is go out there and perform in the preseason, ball out, and somebody will give him another shot.
Yeah, he acting like he acting like he just no, he's never gonna get another shot again. Like, now you still perform, you auditioning for 32 teams in the NFL,
Exactly.
so. And even shoot, I mean, I hate to say this, but he might be auditioning for the XFL. You never know,
Anybody.
Yeah, anybody, man. You have an opportunity to shine somewhere, man. Like, just keep on fighting, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like Malik Willis fits our offense. I think I was the main person I was excited about Malik. I thought Malik Willis was gonna be our next Steve McNair.
Me
When he
too,
first
man.
got him. I was like, yeah, we finally got the next McNair. I'm watching the video of him getting hyped, man, when he got drafted and all this other stuff. I'm watching film. I'm like, yeah, we got us a guy. You know what I'm saying? They slept on him, man. They did him wrong. They slid all the way to the third, and then I seen how he just didn't fit our offense, man. We putting him on the center. We're not really running read option too much. Like, it's nothing that really benefits him, So, like I said, I just feel like, man, just if I was Malik, I just keep fighting, keep grinding every single day, keep working, man. And your opportunity gonna come, man. Just keep playing. You didn't think he didn't think his opportunity was gonna come to play last season, and he started in a game, in 2 games actually. So, like I said, man, he be all right, man. And as for Will Levis, man, I'm still not a fan, but hey, he got to show me on the field, and it's more than just winning the division too, man. I want to see what he do in the playoffs, because I'm holding Tannehill to that standard. Man, he got it. I don't care what he do in the regular season, as long as we get to the playoffs, and then I need to see what you need to do in the playoffs, man. The playoffs is important for me with my quarterbacks from here on out, man. So the same standard will be held with Will Levis. What are you doing in the playoffs?
Yep. Anything you want to add to that, Marcus?
No, I mean, RJ pretty much nailed it, man. I mean, Malik, he got put on for the whole league. I mean, the whole league is watching this situation right now, because I guarantee you it's a coach out there who thinks that Vrabel isn't doing it right with Malik, and believes that if they get their hands on Malik, they can coach him up to be the quarterback that some people thought he could develop into. And as far as, the stand up for Will Levis and Tannehill or whatever, I mean, although I don't really subscribe to the whole, I don't care about the regular season. All I care about is the playoff thing, just for the simple fact that you got to play in the regular season to make it to the playoffs. And if you ain't doing the motherfucking thing in the regular season, you damn sure ain't going to do a damn thing in the playoffs. You probably fuck around won't make the playoffs. So, I mean, but RJ pretty much nailed it. There's nothing wrong with people who thinking like that. I just don't subscribe to that.
Yeah,
So-
it's more so like with me, like I said, I will hype about Tannehill 33 in 7 season that he had and 3,000 yards. I thought he was, I'm saying, oh yeah, this is the standard. This is what we need to do at quarterback. It's amazing. He's been going to playoffs and lose the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with regular season success, man. Like, I'm done with just being happy because we beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, nah, man, I want to do something. I want to, when we get in these playoffs, you gotta think like a Super Bowl winning franchise, man. If we're gonna win Super Bowls, you gotta think like one. They don't give a damn if they. Do you think the Cowboys care if they beat the San Francisco 49ers in the regular season? Like, no, like it's about what they do in the playoffs.
Especially they fans.
Yeah.
Jared be up there clapping it up like a motherfucker. You know damn well.
Yeah,
He's off on that type of shit.
Yeah, they do. They hype. I give them that, but I mean, like I said, like at the end all be all, man. It's about what you did in the playoffs, man.
Yeah,
if we make it, you know what I'm saying. So,
yeah, nothing really matters, if you don't do nothing in the postseason. Nothing in the regular season matters if you don't play in the postseason. I don't know who Facebook user is, but Facebook user here brought up a really good point.
Hell yeah, he did.
Are we gonna have a kicker this year? I mean, we got Caleb Shuck, who sucked so bad they went and got Randy Bullock, and then well, he couldn't beat out Randy Bullock for his job.
I thought he got
however
injured.
you want to look at it. And then we had, or maybe he got hurt. Maybe
I thought he got. I want to say he got injured, but I could be wrong my damn self. But either way, go ahead, because kicker situation.
Yeah, I feel like he wasn't that good or didn't impress me that much anyway. And then we got Josh Wolf, I think his name is.
Yeah, Trey Wolf.
Trey Wolf. I'm sorry, Trey. Man, y'all know how hard it is to do this off-season name stuff, man. Anyway, Trey Wolf. I was really upset that we weren't able to get Jake Moody, but I hope that Wolf brings some competition, because if he doesn't, then man, I'm worried. I'm actually worried about kicker this year, because we've seen that be a problem before, and especially in the Vrabel years. And here we are again, kind of circling the drain, looking for guys that, I mean, I don't know. I'm just worried about that position. That's one of the positions that really worries me, is kicker.
Man, we haven't had a bona fide, just straight up legit kicker that we don't have to worry about since Rob Baronis. I mean, some people, you know what I'm saying, they like Suckup, and I like Suckup too. Suckup, you know what I'm saying, he had his moments with us, but I mean, be honest. I mean, when it came down to them long kicks or whatever, I mean, shoot, your heart get to racing fast. You get to crossing your fingers, praying, hoping that this motherfucker hits the damn kick or whatever. And then, I mean, it was even worse with Bullock or whatever. And this past season right here, shoot, I mean, he wasn't so damn sure about himself on, the 40-yard stuff or whatever, man. Mm-hmm. And I'm just tired of being worried about a position that we should have locked up for the next 10, 12, 15 years or whatever.
Man, don't you just wish you had an Adam Vinatieri or something, man?
Exactly.
That's the man right there, y'all. That's the man.
Just said it. Baronis for six. I'm ready to see that shit again, man. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say Baronis got me spoiled or whatever, but man, like I said, I'm just ready to put this kicker shit behind us, man. we got so much other shit going on that we need to worry about. We shouldn't have to be sitting up worried about a dadgum kicker. I mean, y'all already got punter squared away. Mm-hmm. Go square the kicker position away.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So the only other thing I really wanted to talk about, which I thought was funny, was the people who weren't there at practice that everybody's freaking out about. I'm just gonna list them off here. Doesn't matter why they weren't there. They were either there because of injury or they just weren't there. It's voluntary. Anyway, Caleb Farley, Kristen Fulton, Kevin Byard, Monty Rice, Harold Landry, Dylan Radens, Trayvon Wesco, Danico Autry, and Sam OK is what I call him, because I cannot pronounce that man's name. And if y'all want to try, I'm cool with it.
I ain't finna slaughter that man name.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to mess that dude's. I couldn't even get Trey Wolf right. I still can't get it right. See? So Sam OK. Hey, that's cool. Y'all, yeah, again, y'all's fans, everybody's freaking out. Oh, Kevin Byard's not there. Y'all need to chill out. Everything's fine. Rand Carthon, I think, honestly, is one of those dudes that he seems like a guy to me that's going to be one of the guys that rewards his players. I think it's a big year for people like, I'm kind of giving something away here, but I plan on doing a thing about Kristen Fulton because I think it's a big year for him, because I think Rand Carthon is one of those people that will reward you if you do well. And Kristen Fulton has done well. And I think if he continues to do well this season, then he'll get rewarded by an extension. And I think other people, are in for that too. But anything y'all want to close with? I know we're getting kind of close to the.
I'll start. Why Caleb Farley ain't there?
Because Caleb Farley's trash.
I mean,
he got hurt, man.
Yeah. Didn't we draft him hurt?
I'm looking like Caleb Farley. I need you to be out there, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You on Friends too. Like, I'm not saying you ain't got to be there, but you need to be. You know, it's one of those. Like, you need to be out there.
I'm glad you brought that up. It made me think of something, because I'm a kind of a follower of the Locked On Titans podcast. I'll give a shout out to Tyler Rowland. He does a good job.
Shout out to Tyler, man.
Yeah,
Keep doing your thing, man. I mean, he one of the first podcasters I was listening to once I got into the podcast thing. So, I mean, Tyler and all the Titans content creators, man, keep doing y'all thing.
Yeah. And he was doing a video where he was doing a lock for the defense. And he posted on Twitter that Caleb Farley was a lock. And I posted up there, I just don't see this. I don't think he's done enough, or has done enough, or will do enough to warrant a roster spot. I just think he's a waste, and that's the kind of the way I look at it. And then he brought up the point that it would actually cost us $2 million to cut Caleb Farley this year. So
you saying he's staying because of the money?
I mean, if you have to pay $2 million to get rid of a guy, I'll say this: that dude is a piece of shit. I mean, he's worse than Dennis Daly, because they were actually paying him to play. They're paying him. I mean, literally, they're paying to get rid of this dude if they get rid of him. Do you know how shitty you got to be if they're paying to get rid of you? I mean, do you realize how bad you are? Yeah. So
I
the fact that you're not at camp right now is kind of stupid on your part. Good point, RJ. But that is kind of stupid on your part for not showing up at camp. When
I'm just saying, I watched did y'all see that interview with y'all watched the Raw Room with Darren Bates?
I haven't watched the new episode.
No, I didn't get to see that.
Y'all gotta watch that episode with Delaney Walker, man. So Delaney Walker's on the show, and he basically talked about when the variable first got there, and apparently what was that bus that we had? Kevin Dodd. Yeah. Kevin Dodd didn't show up to Valtech workouts, and you know what I'm saying? He was already on Friends with the franchise, and he didn't. Everybody else knew what type of person Vrabel is. Vrabel ain't scared to fight nobody. You know what I'm saying? So whenever they said they was at team meetings, and they was all in front of everybody, the whole team. Kevin Dodd walked in. He was looking. He sat down. He was like, "Why you sitting down, bro?" Like, you know what I'm saying? One of those, like, "Why you sitting down?" And he's like, "You're not on the team." And like everybody, he looked, he be like, "Man, get up out of here." Like, you know what I'm saying? Type stuff. Everybody looking at him like he had to get it. Like, I'm talking about got embarrassed in front of everybody.
Damn. Go Vrabel, man. That's why I like Vrabel right there, man. He's a player's coach.
Vrabel, he's gonna do the same thing to Caleb Farley if he don't show up the voluntary workout.
I'm telling you,
bro, y'all playing, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But I'll say this though, like I said, if they cut his ass, you know what that means? The dude is trash, beyond trash. Because if they cut him, that means they're literally willing to pay $2 million to have somebody else, or well, more than $2 million, because they're gonna have to pay somebody else to fill that roster spot.
Yeah.
So
still trying to clean up J-Rod's mess.
I know, right? And that's my point, really. Is we're still cleaning up J-Rob's mess. We still haven't seen Rand Carthon's master plan. We're starting to, because we've seen him draft now, and we've seen a couple of his free agent picks, so we kind of understand where he's at right now. And I'm sorry, but for the cards he was dealt, I think he has played poker like a damn champion. He should be up there with the dudes on ESPN doing the poker man, my boss is gonna be mad at me because he's a huge poker fan. But whatever they call it, World Series of Poker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be playing that shit because he's a mastermind at this shit with the cards he was dealt. Because he has done amazing. He's made our line better. He's made our receiving core better. At a point. All right, let's talk about that for a second.
Hold on, wait, what?
Let's talk about that for a second because I know y'all want to talk about the wide receivers. So I'll let y'all go and say y'all's piece about the wide receiver situation.
Yeah. Did y'all see what Tim Kelly said about the wide receivers today?
No,
I sent it. Yeah, I know. It's more than you, Max.
So I mean, pretty much. I mean, the man said that he's good with the wide receivers. They asked him, are you comfortable with the wide receivers or whatnot? He said, yeah, and they went on to ask him, well, why are you so comfortable with them? And he went on to, give examples of, these guys making plays or whatever, in which I wrote an article about it on fanbattlesports.com. I don't think it's been posted yet because I literally just done it before I hopped on here. But when it goes live, I'll post it or whatever. But the man just gave examples of, Kyle Phillips making plays in game, Racey McMahon making plays, NWI making plays, Traylon Burks making plays, whoever making plays or whatever, in which, I don't want to take anything away from those plays or whatever, but dude, you're not finna sit up here and convince this fan base that this wide receiver group that we got is good. A lot of people think that we had the worst wide receiver group in the NFL, and I cannot disagree with them. I mean, a case can be made for it. I mean, that thing with, Vrabel got more touchdowns than, just about all our wide receivers or whatever. That thing is true. I mean, our wide receiver group is pretty fucked right now. We dependent on Traylon Burks, who so far has been put in the damn work to be a number one. Salute to him, man. And y'all are gonna read that article that PK put up as well, man. Because Traylon, I mean, you got a whole bunch of dudes, and I'm not talking about Titan players neither, but you got a whole bunch of dudes that didn't show up for OTAs or whatever over some foolish shit or whatever. But Traylon, on the other hand, man, that man went through hell and said, I'm not missing practice yesterday. I mean, I think he had a flight delay, and then they tried to rent him a car, and Walmart had all the cars rented out until Thursday. So they was able to, find somebody with a little small jet or whatever that, only done it for, his time and the fuel cost or whatever. They got Traylon to Nashville, and they said, although he wasn't on time, he was pretty damn close to being on time. And even PK has acknowledged that this dude looks the part. So I don't want to hear none of that bullshit that the loser section of my fan base talking about with the, Traylon got out. Nah, buddy. Dude showing up, and he doing whatever the fuck he got to do to be that man. So y'all go acknowledge that right there instead of acknowledging all the shortcomings that he done went through.
Yeah. This is my take on it. Look, I'm a huge believer in Traylon Burks, man. I seen it last season. I seen him snag on Jair Alexander, who's a top 3 corner in the NFL, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I seen what he did to the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? I seen it. Y'all tripping, but Traylon Burks to be a dog. I don't know what y'all. I saw it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even in shape last year. This is just off of raw athletic ability. Now he has a whole year of training camp, a whole year of, you know what I'm saying, knowing what the NFL is about. He about to show up and show out. I'm trying to tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here talking to Jaguar fans in my group chat, and I'm like, I saw first time I see Traylon Burks snag on somebody, I can't wait to post it in here. They're like, who's Traylon Burks? That's all. He probably gonna be wide receiver. These they boys in my group chat talking about he gonna be wide receiver 5 on the Jacksonville Jaguars, bro. Wide receiver 5, bro. They said that that Zay better than him, Zay Jones better than him. They said that what's his name? Christian Kirk was better than him, Calvin Ridley, and they said Jamal Agnew better than Traylon Burks. I said, oh yeah, you crazy. I said, you crazy, bro. I said, look, I know you got like trolling and all, but you crazy. I said, that Traylon Burks finna go off. I believe in him. All we need is a number 2 wide receiver to step up right next to him, man. Yeah, and I believe in Kyle Phillips in the slot if he stays healthy. So that's where I'm at with the wide receiver core.
Too.
Yeah,
Kyle Phillips. If he can stay healthy and work that slot, that opens up so much when it comes to the offense or whatever, man. I mean, we still need to find a legit option at number 2, but Kyle Phillips in that slot or whatever, if you can move him around a little bit, that could really open some things up.
Yeah, well, Kyle Phillips, I think he had some. Actually, there's a perfect post right there. Kyle Phillips actually put on some weight. Oh, excuse me, wrong one. Kyle Phillips actually put on some weight in the off season. I think he put on about 15, 20 pounds. So it's going to be, can he still be that quick, shifty guy with the weight on kind of guy? But I mean, he was pretty dang small before. He was almost my size. I mean, literally.
yeah.
I mean, he's almost exactly my measurements, which, if I was playing in the NFL, I'd be scared as shit. There's some big. I met Jeffrey Simmons in person before, and I was just like, holy shit, dude. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a big dude. But as far as the wide receiver core goes, Treylon, yeah, y'all nailed it on that. Treylon's about to go off. Every rookie thinks that they know what they're to expect in the NFL because they've been just dominating in college, and then they get to the pros and they're like, holy shit, these guys are on a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's why they call it the next level. So once they get that initial shock taken away from them, usually it's the sophomore season, and then you see what they're really made of. And I think Treylon's about to make a huge leap, especially with his off-season conditioning. Everybody's been talking about it, him hanging around the Nashville area so he can get accustomed to our climate and all that crap. So I'm excited about him. Outside of Treylon Burks, Phillips, I'm a prove it guy. I say it a lot. And, until he can prove to me that he can stay on the field, I'm not really counting on him that much. Chris Moore, he seems like, honestly, outside of Treylon Burks, he's probably the best wide receiver we've got on the team. I hate to say that, but
he'd have been amongst the group.
So no faith in Nick Westbrook or Keener. Golly, man, I'm gonna keep.
Nah,
if
Nick
he playing
Westbrook
wide receiver 4 or 5, I got faith.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a number 4, number 5
it's
wide
so
receiver.
ungrateful, man. You know what I mean? Good play that man made. Go back and watch the old Titan games. He made a lot of plays.
Tim Kelly now. Go back and look at the Commanders game.
What did Red say he wanted? He
won us that Commander game. What you mean? He made the biggest play in that game. Did he not? So he didn't make the biggest play against the Commanders.
Man, I ain't trying to sound like nobody from the loser section of the fan base, man. So I ain't falling for it. Shout out to Nick Westbrook and Keener, man.
Nah, he's
Mike's
slow.
Legend.
He's slow. He's big and slow.
You sound like Tim Kelly.
I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing that, man. NWI, that's what I call him because I'm horrible with names. But NWI is slow. He's big. Yeah, he blocks well. He's a good blocker. But other than that, that's all he's really. I'm sorry.
Yeah, tell him, man. They ungrateful, man. I tried to, bro.
All right.
He's not trash.
Outside of that, who we got? We got a bunch of young dudes.
McMath.
Oh no, I'm not believing. He gotta show me. He gotta show me.
I'm sorry. Again, I'm a prove it guy. I say it all the time. But Racing McMath, dude, this is your 3rd year, man. If you can't get it done this year, get the hell out of here. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, dude. You can have all the physical attributes in the world, and that's exactly what I'm about to talk about. But if you ain't got the talent to back up with the physical attributes, I'm sorry, man. Go. Colton Dowell. That's who I'm really excited about. I'd like to see Colton Dowell. Now, I don't think he's going to, contribute on a huge major level. I'd love to see him do that, but I don't think that's really realistic. But I would like to see him develop, towards the end of the season, start to really put on as a possession receiver on the other side with Treylon Burks. He's got the speed, he's got the size, he's got the hands. He's really smart. If you watch him in interviews, he handles himself really well. I just really love the kid. I don't know why. I've got some kind of dorkish fetish. Maybe I have some man crush on him. I'm not sure, but I do love him, and I want Copeland. That's another one I'm really excited about. Copeland from Maryland. He's fast, shifty, can catch the ball real smoothly.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, I like Jacob. I watched him when he was at Florida. He was a good receiver there. I don't know what he did in Maryland, but in Florida he was a really good receiver.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he just continued doing the same thing.
All right.
Catching
He brought up the guy in the comments, the guy from your team, Max, Kyrus Jackson. Yeah, I think I like him. I like him. Yeah, I watched him when he was at Georgia. He made a bunch of plays at Georgia. And it made a lot of big plays too. Like it wasn't just like they up 50 points. You know what I'm saying? Like he making plays when the game on the line. He made a play in the national championship game against Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Or said go Dogs.
That's right. Ooh.
Man, hey, hold on. We ain't turn it to no college football.
sorry, fellas. Sorry. Yeah, because see where I'm from and where I'm from in this little town, everybody loves UT. Because we're right outside of Knoxville, so everybody's obsessed. Man, go Big Orange. Everything's orange around here. It looks like we're in a constant construction zone.
Yes, sir. Go Vols.
But anyway. But I am a Dogs fan, so everybody absolutely hates me, especially the last 2 or 3 years in a row. Everybody absolutely hates
stand them, man. They
do, man.
When did y'all started barking at people, man? Like I went to the I went to the bar for the Tennessee Georgia game this year, man, and y'all beating the brace off us, bro. Like I'm just watching this John. And this Georgia fan come to me. He's like, "What up, man?" He's like, "Roop, roop, 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 roop," all in my phone.
I did that to a guy. Oh, that's so funny. I didn't know anybody else did that. I just thought that was
he did it to me.
That's hilarious.
All in my face and everything. Like, I'm like, "Girl, you don't go somewhere, man." Like.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Gotta love them college football fans.
Hey, man, yeah,
ain't nothing like
it,
dude.
nutty. Yeah, they're a little.
SEC football, man. I love the NFL, but it ain't got nothing on SEC football, man. It's like tribal. I just. NFL, man, I'm just telling y'all, man, like it's so spread out. Like it's more watched, but like SEC football, it's like in your blood, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? It's in your blood.
I mean, it goes deep. I mean,
the fandom is
different.
Yeah, the fandom is way bigger on the college level. Absolutely,
the rivalries, all that stuff. So
yeah, everything is way more intense on the college level, man. I went to a UT game and I thought I had been to a football game, but until you go to Neyland Stadium completely packed with, a rival like Georgia or Florida there, you don't know. You don't know what a rival game's like. I thought going to a Titans-Ravens game was crazy. No, that ain't that bad. But anyway, off college football, any big pointers y'all want to say before we go?
RJ, you got anything? I done got pretty much everything off my chest.
Yeah, I think I said everything too.
Well, I think that ends it for us tonight then, guys. That wraps up the Titans Fans Podcast. I really appreciate you guys coming on from the Titans Coliseum Podcast. If nobody has anybody from my page or my people that are watching, if you haven't watched the Titans Coliseum podcast, you got to get on Facebook, Twitter. They're there. They're great. They're three great guys. Two of them are here. I mean, if you enjoyed tonight's show, then you're probably going to enjoy their shows. So check them out. Anything y'all want to say? Y'all want to give any shout outs or any links or anything like that to your shows?
Yeah, man. Like Max said, man, y'all thank you for having us on, Max, too, by the way, man. Much love, man. Y'all check us out Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This Thursday coming up, believe we're gonna have a little bit of a later start. Firestone, he out shaking ass in Miami right now. So I had to get it in there, but yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a later start. We probably gonna start up around 9:30. I mean 9 o'clock Central Time this Thursday. So y'all come through, check us out, chop it up with us, all that good stuff. And everybody stay blessed up out there, man.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, catch us on Facebook, Twitter, any other big social media sites. We're on there. You follow me and Morocco on Twitter, man. We're both funny. You know what I'm saying? Follow more, especially Morocco on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like, we both funny. But Morocco drops great hype videos before the Titans game. That's gonna have you pumped, prepared, man. So make sure y'all hit them follow buttons, man. You know what I'm saying? We here. And make sure y'all keep supporting my boy Max, man. He doing it big, man. This Titan podcast stuff too, man. So
yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all go. Oh, yeah. Thank y'all for running us up on fanbattlesports.com, man. Max, he put out his first article over the weekend, man, and he done a damn great job at it. And telling people, man, I mean, shoot, Max being sarcastic. I mean, that was a well-played title right there. I got to tell you. I mean, going out there, Chris Moore, our savior. I ain't gonna lie. I was in bed when I first seen that or whatever. I was still kind of, waking up or whatever. I said, I'm like, hold on, what the heck, Max trick? And then I read it. I like, hey, man, I like this shit, man. But yeah, man, thank y'all for going to run up them articles for us, man. I mean, we gonna keep them pumping out. Y'all go read the Colts articles as well, because Josh Senior and Chris Speedman, I mean, they up over there putting in work too, and you always want to, keep an eye on your rivals. I mean, over on the Texan side, you got VT writing up over there. Chris Remington, he wrote his first article. Shout out to him, his damn good article as well. Matt Briggs, I mean, yeah, man, as far as the Jaguar fans go, I mean, you got Josh Allen up over there. You got Sammy She doing her thing. Cody Blankenship. I mean, everybody at Fan Battle, man. I mean, y'all go check out them articles, man, because, I mean, we got a lot of good content in store for y'all here in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You have something to say, RJ?
So I'm good now, man. I got all my shout outs out. So.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all know where to find me, it's pretty easy. It's right there on the bottom of your screen. Maximus_Titan_fan at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just take out the underscores and you've got my name. Titans Fans Podcast number 2 in the books. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. Y'all have been great. I really appreciate it.
All right, now.
Definitely.